Good morning. I hope you're all well. Hope you've had a good week of training again. Hope it's kind of building up now, building that intensity, getting ready for whatever your next race is. I know because it was been counted, hasn't it, the past few weekends. I know we had Bucks last weekend. A lot of my teammates obviously raced at Bucks, which was really nice because it meant there were only three of us left at home. So three of us in four lanes, easy, lovely. I'm actually racing this weekend, so we're going to Bangor in Northern Ireland, and we're doing the McCullagh International Meet. It should be quite good. I think looking at the entry list, there's some big names in down in British swimming there. Duncan Scott's there. Lewis Fraser's going to be there in that 100 fly, which would be a good race, I think. So I thought today might be kind of useful to talk about what I'm going into that meet, kind of expectations and aims to get out of it, as well as kind of some tips on kind of how to pack. So we're only allowed one bag with us, so I'm taking just the Manchester bag. So it's kind of ways of prioritising packing that and what do you actually need to take versus what can you source when you're out there. So racing wise, I'm doing 100 freestyle on the Friday, 50 fly on the Saturday, and 100 fly on the Sunday. So 100 freestyle again is kind of similar to when we're in Switzerland. Freestyle is kicking off the meet, and it's still not a particular strength of mine, the 100 freestyle, but it is quite nice, I think, that it is on the first day because it's going to be my first race at trials. So it kind of gets me still in that habit of race a good 100 freestyle. And actually, I know the video last week was from the VO2 session last week where I was a little bit dreadful. Well, not dreadful, but dropped off. We actually did that very similar set as I'm filming this. It was yesterday. We did it short course. And I was going really well. I'll put the times on the screen here somewhere, but I was kind of holding it fairly well. There's probably a second and a half difference, and then I had a big drop in the last one where I hit big underwaters off both walls that I wouldn't be able to sustain throughout a set like that. So actually my freestyle was flowing really, really nicely. So it gives me actually a bit more confidence going into this 100 freestyle that if I can get into that rhythm, I should be all right. Then the 50 fly is kind of not really nothing event, but it's kind of see if I can move it on, see if I can swim. I'll probably end up swimming it like it's a front end, just with kind of maybe slightly faster, maybe slightly higher rate. Obviously head down into the finish, but I'll likely still breathe every stroke because that seems to be the faster for me on fly. And then Sunday obviously is the big day, is the 100 fly. So really the main objective is both swims to be faster than my fastest one in Switzerland. So in Switzerland I was 53.58, I think. So I want the heat to be faster, and then the final to be even faster than that. One of the things I've been working on kind of when we've done a little bit of race pace, so we've started doing race pace on a Friday morning. One of the things I've been working on the back end is breathing one up, one down. So I just breathe in every other stroke. Now that's something I have done in the past, but only for the last 25. And the reason I'm doing that is I think it's quite good for getting the rhythm and kind of using that up and then one down to keep the hips riding really high. It's kind of something that I was not sure about doing a whole 50 of it because obviously you then have half the number of breaths, and then it's kind of how does that affect the swim as well. But it's felt good the last few weeks in training. Kind of the stroke count on that back end on those 50s that you're seeing now has been 19 kind of all the way, which is what I want on race day. So I think it makes sense to put that into a race now and see in that race environment rather than a slightly more controlled training environment, how does that actually work? And is that something that in, 8 weeks out from trials, something like that? In 8 weeks' time, is that something that I'm going to be able to deliver under pressure and actually get a better result? So which I'm pretty hopeful for. I think I will be able to kind of deliver that, but that'll be good. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and pack all this stuff. I've got James Hollinshead, who's a bodybuilder. In fact, I'm wearing the James Hollinshead shirt as well, which is pretty cool. But I've got kind of the stuff to pack. So I want to take my fins. I don't know if I'll have space, but I would like to take them for the warm-ups. Kind of I like doing drills and that with it. I've got the GoPro for if I can get some underwater things. My plan for this meet as well is to try and get a little bit more behind the scenes kind of stuff and how we're living. We're sharing an Airbnb, me, Donatas and Carnell, so should be okay, and we'll kind of show what all that looks like. Also, I think another thing that's going to be important is I'm going to take a thermos with me. So I'm not sure what we're going to be like in terms of timings for being able to eat in the day. I'll be able to eat at the airport, so I'll eat something at the airport, and then I'll have a beef and rice meal that you'll have seen me eat loads of times before. But I'm going to microwave that in the morning, stick it in there, and it'll still be warm. The only downside is that this always gets stuck at security. My bags always get pulled over, which is a shame when it's going to be really densely packed like this. Obviously the security just pull everything out, and it's got to get shoved back in somehow. I'm just kind of going through a few things that I've thought of that are going to be useful. So some of it's kind of like allocating space. So I've got this tub here that's a hydration powder, but I've been eating cream of rice for my breakfast kind of recently, and if I show you this, I've then put 3 days worth of cream of rice in there on top of the hydration powder, because then it's the same, obviously it takes up the same volume, but I'm using that space. I assume they're going to be towels, but I'm going to try and take a towel with me just in case again. And then because we leave on that Sunday night, I'm taking a big carrier bag, I presume it's Tesco's, big Tesco's bag, I think, covered in cakes, and that's going to just be able to put stuff in, kind of have extra baggage really, without having to have bought extra baggage. But yeah, I'm going to have a go at packing all this. Obviously I've got a bag full of racing suits. That's the most important. And I think kind of we can overthink packing. So what do I need? I need trunks, goggles, and a hat, and racing trunks. And as long as they're in, anything else, if need be, I could buy a toothbrush, I could buy a toothpaste. I'm taking an AeroPress to make coffee, but I'm going to buy coffee out there. So it's kind of really, for something like this, it's packing the bare minimum. Whereas in complete opposite, when I go to London for trials, it's going to be taking everything that I might need, I want. So again, part of what, I think I said this after Switzerland, part of what made that a good meet is that it was difficult. We're having to adapt. This is similar. We're going to have to adapt. When we race after in March, that's only in Manchester, so I don't have to go anywhere, so I can live comfortably, kind of my normal routine. And then trials, then we'll be trying to keep that normal routine as much as possible. So yeah, so I'm going to watch the shed. I think he's doing a 4 day of eating, so I'm going to watch that. And then see if I can get all this stuff packed. Yeah, I'll catch up with you in a bit. It's actually all gone in fairly easily. There's a few bits to go in. This is going to go in the morning. The wash bag is going to go in the morning. Obviously when I've got my toothbrush and toothpaste to go in. In fact, I'll stick my inhalers in there now as well. And then I've just tied my fins onto the outside with it's an old medals ribbon, but it serves a better purpose like that. So it's yeah, so that should be okay, and hopefully that does last kind of is enough there to last that whole trip. Yeah, so I think probably next time you'll see me, I'll be introducing the next video next week. So I think that'll do for today. Kind of a little bit of a shorter one, I think. Kind of not really too much, but kind of a little bit kind of tips on packing. See, obviously, like as a tip there, I've rolled up the towel. So obviously, when something's rolled up, it occupies less space for the volume of towel. Same with t-shirts, roll them up. Shorts, roll them up. Get them all tucked in there. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this today. Hope you've kind of taken something from it. Yeah, I'm going to go and get ready to go and race, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.